In just 7 days, the conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States has transformed the Middle East into one of the most dangerous battlefields in modern history. Thousands of missiles, drones, and airstrikes have already been launched. Stealth bombers, ballistic missiles, naval fleets, and advanced air defenses are now fighting across a region that produces nearly 1/5 of the world's oil supply. And what has happened in the first 7 days may only be the beginning, because this war isn't just about territory. It's about air superiority, missile dominance, and control of the Middle East's strategic choke points. But to understand how dangerous this situation has become, we first have to look at how the conflict escalated over the past week. During the opening phase of the conflict, Israeli forces launched a series of precision strikes targeting Iranian military infrastructure. These strikes reportedly involved advanced aircraft such as the F-35I Adir and the F-15I Rayam, which were used to attack radar stations, missile storage depots, and command centers connected to Iran's strategic weapons programs. The goal of these early operations was simple: weaken Iran's ability to launch a large-scale missile retaliation. But Iran responded quickly. Within hours, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps began launching waves of missiles and drones toward Israeli territory and American military positions in the region. Among the weapons reportedly used were the Fateh Zone 110 missile, the Zolfaghar missile, and the longer-range Shahed missile. At the same time, large numbers of Shahed drones were launched toward multiple targets. These drones are designed to fly long distances before diving directly into their targets, acting as loitering munitions rather than traditional aircraft. And this is where Iran's strategy becomes clear. Instead of relying on a single massive missile strike, Iran has increasingly focused on launching large numbers of cheaper drones and short-range missiles at the same time. This tactic is known as a saturation attack. The idea is simple: air defense systems can intercept incoming threats, but if too many weapons arrive simultaneously, the defenses can be overwhelmed. Israel relies on one of the most advanced layered air defense systems in the world. This network includes systems like Iron Dome, David's Sling, and the Arrow 3. Alongside these systems, the United States has deployed Patriot missile system batteries and advanced radar systems across the region. Every time an interceptor missile is fired, it can cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Meanwhile, many of the drones used in these attacks may cost only a few $1,000s each. This creates a powerful economic imbalance in modern warfare. The attacking side can sometimes force the defending side to spend far more resources simply trying to stop incoming threats. As the conflict continued, the United States began increasing its military presence in the region. Strategic aircraft such as the B-2 Spirit were deployed for precision strikes against hardened underground targets. These bombers are capable of carrying powerful bunker-busting weapons such as the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, a bomb specifically designed to destroy deeply buried facilities. At the same time, American naval forces began expanding their presence in nearby waters. Aircraft carriers, guided missile destroyers, and submarines capable of launching Tomahawk cruise missiles were moved into strategic positions. This brings us to another critical part of the conflict: the naval battlefield. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important waterways in the world. Nearly 20% of global oil shipments pass through this narrow corridor. If shipping traffic in this area were disrupted, the economic impact could spread far beyond the Middle East. Iran's naval strategy is based on asymmetric warfare. Instead of relying on large warships, Iran focuses on fast attack boats, anti-ship missiles, naval mines, and swarm tactics designed to threaten larger enemy vessels. Meanwhile, tensions across the Gulf region have continued to rise. Countries such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar are located only a few hundred kilometers from Iran's coastline. This geography plays a crucial role in the conflict. Striking Israel from Iran requires long-range ballistic missiles because the distance between the two countries can reach nearly 2,000 kilometers. Long-range missiles are complex systems that require advanced guidance technology and specialized manufacturing capabilities. Because of this, they are typically produced in smaller numbers. But the Gulf region is much closer. From Iran's coastline, targets across the Persian Gulf can be reached by short-range missiles and drones traveling only a few hundred kilometers. This means Iran could potentially launch much larger numbers of weapons toward nearby targets. Missiles such as the Fateh 110 and Zolfaghar are specifically designed for these shorter-range engagements. When combined with large numbers of Shahed drones, they create a powerful strike capability capable of saturating regional air defenses. Another important factor in the conflict is the role of international alliances. Russia has strengthened its strategic partnership with Iran in recent years. While Moscow has not directly entered the conflict, its diplomatic and technological cooperation with Tehran has raised concerns about how far that relationship might extend if the crisis escalates further. At the same time, the United States and Israel continue to coordinate closely on intelligence, air operations, and missile defense. All of these factors together create a very complex strategic situation. Military analysts are now watching several key indicators to determine what might happen next. One possible scenario is that the air campaign continues, with coalition coalition forces attempting to destroy Iran's remaining missile launchers and military infrastructure. Another possibility is that Iran expands its retaliation using longer-range ballistic missiles and larger drone swarms. So, third scenario involves the naval battlefield. If tensions in the Strait of Hormuz escalate and shipping traffic becomes disrupted, the economic consequences could affect global energy markets almost immediately. And finally, there is always the possibility that diplomatic pressure slows the escalation before the conflict spreads further. But after just 1 week of fighting, one thing is already clear. This is no longer a limited confrontation. Ballistic missiles, stealth aircraft, drone swarms, and advanced air defense systems are now shaping a battlefield that stretches across the entire Middle East. And in modern warfare, the outcome is rarely decided by a single battle count. Instead, it is determined by who controls the skies, the seas, and the strategic infrastructure that allows nations to keep fighting. Because today, the battlefield is no longer a single front line. It is an entire region under pressure.